Throughout this series, we've been talking about important things to know and consider when creating a podcast.
Starting from knowing your reason and goals to actually hitting that record button and editing into the finished product. A podcast isn't a podcast until someone can subscribe to it and receive it directly and automatically.
It makes me think of paper boys back in the day.
Okay, you're going to have to explain that.
Newspapers were written and formatted, and while lots of people purchased the paper from a newsstand, reading the paper hit differently when you open your front door in the morning and it was there waiting for you.
So you're talking about the convenience of subscriptions.
Absolutely. And for a time, paperboys were the final leg of that subscription process for newspapers.
Today's episode is all about paperboys. Extra, extra.
I wish.
Well, it's all about an important aspect of distributing your podcast, which is called hosting.
We really should do an episode about paperboys. That was my best job ever. Welcome to Pod Ask Us.
Isn't it Pod Access?
Can it be both?
Connecting deaf and disabled podcasters to audiences and each other.
Ba-dum-dum-bap-ba-dum. Podcast hosts provide a place for uploading your audio files in order for your audience to access, share, and subscribe.
While you can upload audio to your own website, you have to think about storage space, bandwidth, cost, and more. These things impact how easily and quickly people can stream or download your podcast and how much content you can release.
These platforms provide you with an RSS feed or a link that podcast directories like Apple, Spotify, and others read to make your audio files available to their users.
There are lots of hosting services to choose from that offer a variety of features. Depending on your goal as a podcast creator, think about how you want to prioritize them.
Some of the features that are often important: ease of use. You want a platform that is not only easy to use, but also works with your assistive technology.
Storage. The more often you post and the longer your episodes are, the more storage you'll need.
Bandwidth. The larger your audience, the more bandwidth you'll need to enable more people listening at the same time.
Podcast analytics. If you're concerned with how many people listen, watch, or read your show and from where, you'll need a platform that offers access to your stats.
Distribution. The platform you choose should make it easy to assure your podcast is available on major podcast directories automatically. This includes Apple, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, and more.
Those are just some of the things that will impact your choice of a podcast host.
Maya, host of Proud Stutter, offers an additional and very practical reason.
I like Red Circle because I was one of their first people to use it. So I kind of got grandfathered into their paid program. So now I get it for free. So that's the main reason why I stayed, is I get a lot of the perks for a paid subscription, but I get it for free because I was one of the first users.
Oh, that sounds pretty reasonable to me.
Some other things to consider. If you're producing a podcast as a team, perhaps you want multiple logins for one account.
Some host platforms even let you remotely record, use their automatic transcription services, and more.
Of course, budget is a real factor, and there are some free platforms available. Also, consider editing that auto transcript so it's more accurate, which can be another cost. Some of the popular host platforms at the time of this recording include Libsyn, Buzzsprout, Podbean, Blueberry, Red Circle, and plenty more.
Remember, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and platforms like that are directories, not hosts. You need to host your podcast to get into a directory so people can easily find it. What platform are you interested in or currently using? What are the important factors you require in a host?
Wait, Cheryl, I wore a jacket, shirt, and bow tie because I thought you said we were hosting.
Well, I also wore this black jacket and bow tie since it's about hosting. But Thomas, we are hosting.
Okay, I guess it works out. But that's the last time you're going to see me in a shirt and tie. I'm done with that. Let us know what you like or dislike about your hosting service. Is it accessible? Go to podaccess.net and hit the Contact Us button.
And you can upload a voice memo or write a message.
And you might just hear it.
Read it.
Or see it in a future episode of the podcast or on social media.
Tell a friend and an enemy to follow or subscribe to Pod Access wherever you get your podcasts.
Podaccess.net.